Hi. I want to address why I had a brain scan yesterday. And a lot of you have been reaching out asking. So I wanted to make a video about it, explaining everything. So let's get into it. Where do I start? Well, it was an intense day. Yesterday. I never film at night. Have you noticed? I never film at night. It's hard with the kids to not be there at night. And it's now the 8:30. I never record at this time. But I really wanted to jump on and address the brain scan and the oxygen chamber for people that saw the stories that were freaking out. So what it is I have a psychiatrist, Dr. Amen, who has been amazing. And I struggle, as you know, with mental health, and I go up and down. And I went to see him a couple of years ago for depression. There's a video about it, actually. If you go back on the YouTube, there's a video where I first go to see him about just this uncontrollable depression. It runs in my family. That's what he reminded me of today. There's no surprise. And remember, I was making videos about I'm going to beat this depression without meds. And then he actually put me on medication last month. And I made a video about that as well. And just saying that I feel like it's helping. But I went to see him today. And when I first went to see him, because I was signifying that I was there for depression, he scanned my brain just to see what was going on in there. And he found evidence of a traumatic brain injury. So my brain's been a bit bashed about. And it's from childhood, from an accident. And basically that seems to be one of the causes of depression. I don't know if it's the main cause. I don't know if it's a factor. So I've got a physical factor to my depression, which is also linked with genetics and a family history. So for the last 2 years, we've been working on that because it's dangerous. I go to very, very dark places. When I get depressed, it's no joke. It's no joke. And we actually made a video about it, me and Dr. Amen, and he'll be the whole session. Actually, we made a little video about, and that'll be on his channel. So I want you to be able to see the whole process in his channel. But basically, just to preface what you're going to see there, so it's not a shock. I did discuss suicidal ideation because that's where my depression can take me and has done. So it's dangerous. It's a dangerous place to be for me. So I called him a couple of months ago. I've called him desperate on a few occasions. And the last one was a couple of months ago. And whenever I hit that depression where I start thinking along those lines, I know I need help. And, the 12-step program is great for addiction, but somebody pointed out to me, because I was trying the 12-step on depression, and I suddenly crashed into that really super dark place of, ideation of unaliving oneself. And I realized that it wasn't working. And someone said to me, look in the big book. It says in the big book, which is the Alcoholics Anonymous text, we seek help for outside issues. I don't know how I didn't see that, but it even says in the original text of AA, reach out for help with other issues. And depression is another issue on top of my addiction. So I reached out to him. And he said, come in and do a follow-up brain scan. I want to see how your brain has been developing. The last one was 3 years ago. and he wanted to see if there was any change. And so they put you in a machine, they scan your brain. It takes 20 minutes. It's actually quite relaxing. I hate needles, but I had to they inject you with the stuff that shows up the brain in the scan. So I didn't like that, but it's actually quite relaxing being in the machine. So they scan your brain for 20 minutes, and then he looks at the scan, and then you have a talk about everything else. So basically, the reason for seeing him was the follow-up scan, and to find out how the antidepressants have been going, and to talk about how I've been feeling, and with the depression and stuff like that. So the update is that the actual brain itself hasn't changed that much. Like, I've still got the damage that was caused from the accident. So I've still got damage here, which my damage is in exactly the place that regulates mood. And he was hoping that was going to be look slightly different and been more repaired. And he gave me some supplements to do it. And to be honest, they were working. And with everything that happened last year, I fell off and I stopped taking. It's typical me. When something's working, I'll stop doing it. And they were working and I stopped doing it. So I feel like I kind of scuppered that progress by stopping when everything went down last year. So there wasn't the repairing and the progress that we'd hoped for with the physical brain injury. So alongside the brain scan, you also do these reaction tests where you sit at a computer and it flashes things at you and you have to react. And my reactions have got way better. My reaction time, I'm super on it with focus and energy, which is great because I was struggling a bit with that. So that's really good. And the other main thing was to talk about the antidepressants. Now, I don't know, a lot of you have asked what it is I'm taking. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'll have to ask Dr. Amen. Is that bad? Because I don't want to tell you a specific thing and then you go and do it, and go and ask your doctor for it and it doesn't work. Basically, you really need to talk. You need to be prescribed a bespoke medication for your condition. So I don't want to say what I'm taking because I don't want people to then go and get that just thinking that it works when you may have a different kind of depression. Apparently, there's a load of different kinds. So anyway, I'll talk to him. I will tell you if he agrees that that's a good idea. It's not a secret. It's a well-known one. Anyway, so we had a very frank conversation about mood and where I am with that. And I thought I was doing pretty well. Like 1 to 10 is the scale, 1 being the absolute worst and 10 being the best. And he said, how's your mood? And I said, it's around a 4, 3 or a 4. And he said, what would Laura say your mood is? And I was like, maybe a 3. And he seemed to think that's not good. That's really not good. So that was a bit of news that was, a bit hard to reckon with today. The fact that my mood really hasn't lifted like he was hoping. But the great thing about these antidepressants that I'm taking, and this is hard for me to talk about, but the real dark places that I go to when I get depressed, like super dark, ending it all places, I haven't had those thoughts since I've been taking them. So the good news is they are working in that respect. So I think the plan, so that's good. So the good things that came out of today, my focus is way better. My energy's the same. I've always had a lot of energy, but focus is really good. I'm not getting the ideation of ending it. Not getting that with these. Not that I would ever even, I don't know how seriously to take those thoughts. I think does everyone have those thoughts? I don't know. I don't know if everyone has those thoughts, but when I get really depressed, I don't think I would do it, but my head goes there, so it's dangerous now, and that's scary. And that's when I really reach out, and I'm really I'm broken at that point and I need help. So that hasn't been happening for 2 or 3 months, which is when I started taking these. So that's really good. So that's another good thing. So we're going to tweak I'm going to come up a little bit on the dosage of that and see how that works. And so it was a mixed bag today. So then at the end of it, he said, you really should try hyperbaric oxygen. And he's been trying to get me to do this for 3 years. But then I was really into it. And then COVID happened and then it all shut down. And so I never did it. But apparently it's amazing. So I was excited. And he said, why don't you go in one now? So he put me in an oxygen chamber for an hour. And I know on Discord, a few people were like, worried about that. But it was just to get me started on the course of hyperbaric oxygen, it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the not being able to do anything for 20 minutes for the brain scan and an hour in the oxygen tank. So the plan is to tweak the medication and really lean into the supplements, like take them on a regular basis and don't, not take them for a while, and do this hyperbaric oxygen. But I'm positive. I was expecting better news today, but I don't know why, because I didn't follow the instructions. But it was a good meeting. I love seeing him. He's amazing. And his staff there are amazing. They're such friendly, lovely people. So that's really nice. It's always nice to see him and always nice to see them. So yeah, that's where we are. That's why I had a brain scan. That's why you saw me in an oxygen tank. It's not the end of the world. There's no need to worry. It's a process of getting better, and it's working, slowly working. So thank you for your concern. I love you guys. And until next time, see you later.